now when I got a special guest with me is my good friend Adrian Williams, yeah?
Alright, or what?
Well, for those of you who know Howard Williams, who regularly contributes on you, this is Howard's younger brother. And
The better looking one.
yeah, well, there's that. I'll say no comment on that
That's
one.
questionable though.
But yeah, so special guests tonight. I know you all enjoyed it when we had Kev. Obviously, we've had Jason, we've had John Paul, and now Ada was one of my oldest mates from over the county. We were going to Spitty Park together, you know, in the dark days of there only being like 1,000 people there, when we nearly got relegated.
Yeah.
Right through to winning at Wembley, going up. Fair play, Adrian's in a position where he's able to take his sons to the football now.
Yeah,
so
I do miss being on the terraces, but I'm bringing the boys through the next generation now, and they love it. So
that's the way, innit?
when a couple of years time, when they're a little bit taller, I'll introduce them to the terraces.
Absolutely, happy days. Well, well, it's not as if you're that far behind though. That you're just behind us.
Well, we were literally behind you before they sectioned all that kind of middle bit off behind the away dugout. We used to be sat right behind you.
Right then, so first question is from Aaron Day. What position do we need to sign? So obviously that's talking about county. So what do you think then, Aid? I'll let you have first stab at this one.
Well, I think we're looking a bit light in midfield at the moment, aren't we? Obviously the long-term problems of Crofts and Labadie.
Yeah.
We tend to be playing Wilmot a lot of out of position.
Sorry, we just lost connection then. I accidentally pressed something.
Yeah.
We're back now though.
I'm a big Robbie Wilmot fan, but
Yeah.
he's not a central midfield, and I think most people would agree with that. So I'll be looking to bring someone in central midfield, definitely right back.
I certainly think centre midfield. I think that's an area where we're lacking at the moment. Not so much lacking in quality of play, but lacking in, you know, just someone who can get in and boss that midfield around.
Steady
you know?
Eddie. Yeah.
You know, like
bit of experience.
Labadie or Crofts would have been ideal for that.
Yeah,
with ongoing injury issues, I think we need to bring in one more.
Well, hopefully they won't be too far off now. So
I think the defence need a rocket, and I think the best way to give them that is to bring in another central defender that's going to put their regular spot
for places. Yeah.
And there's talk of Regan Poole coming back on loan.
I'd be over the moon with that.
I'd be.
It's a shame we couldn't get Ben White back. He's gone to Peterborough, is it?
Yeah, I think Brighton wanted to put him in a higher division than last year.
I think you can understand that.
Suppose you've got to understand that, haven't you? You know.
Yeah.
But
and the other position we need is another forward. Because obviously
Mark Harris, yeah, of course. But then. Just so you guys know, you know, this doesn't have to be all about county. You know, this is
should all be about county.
it's a general football chat. Obviously, I know county's going to dominate it as it always does, but you know, we do like to talk, you know, a bit about, you know, other stuff. I mean,
apart from Man United.
Well,
no Man United.
Well, that is going to be a subject because you know, 6 wins out of 6, fair play. Solskjaer's the player I hate the most from the Man United glory years. Probably one of the nicest guys, but as a Liverpool fan, remember when Solskjaer scored that 92nd minute winner against Liverpool in the 4th round of the Cup? Dwight York equalised in the 89th minute.
I don't remember.
Michael Owen made it 1-0.
What year was that?
It was 1999, the year of the Man United treble.
I was away.
So the year of the Man United treble, right? I'd been to a Liverpool game earlier that season. Well, it was not long before then. I think it might have been when Liverpool beat Southampton 7-1. It may have been then.
Yeah.
I'm quite sure it was actually when Liverpool beat Southampton 7-1 at home. That was a voucher game. So obviously back then for the big games, obviously you had your voucher ticket stubs.
Yeah.
And what that voucher game was if Liverpool and Man United, who just drew each other in the 4th round of the Cup, went to a replay back at Anfield, that was the voucher game to go to that replay.
Oh, right.
And we were aware of it. We had our ticket stubs ready.
Yeah.
Michael Owen made it 1-0. Dwight York made it 1-1, thinking, well, there's the consolation. At least we get to go and watch the replay. And then Ole Gunnar fucking Solskjaer goes and sticks her in the net in the 92nd minute and robbed me of probably the only opportunity I'll ever get to go and watch Liverpool Man United unless I get freaking lucky or something like that now.
Thankfully, I was lucky. I went travelling around Australia for a couple of months in 1999.
All right.
So when they won the treble, I wasn't even in the same continent.
Yeah.
So it was a good time to be away, I think.
Absolutely. So, yeah, sorry, we're leaving some questions behind you now. So, Matthew Goss, how many do you think will take the Borough? Well, because it's 3 o'clock on a Saturday, I can see there being 1,000 plus. I mean, apparently, Stav is on the verge of filling up a third bus from the well, they call it the Albert bus now, don't they? I mean,
Yeah.
formerly the Royal Mail and Riverside Tavern bus. So
What's their average away attendance in?
it's around about 300 to 400.
Right.
So, but I think we'll take 1,000 up there.
That'd be a
Got
good effort,
Got
wouldn't
to.
it?
There we go.
The only thing that put people off is the distance. It's a long old round trip, isn't it?
Here's your brother. Okay, bruv.
Triple H. All right.
John Paul is in. Good evening to you too, John. Obviously, we miss you from here, but hey, look, we got a good replacement for you for now. Callum Whittingham, pretty AIDS weekend all round. AIDS, that's a bit tough, isn't it?
I used to have that in school. Don't worry about it. And I used to have the Rocky Adrian all through school.
Come on the port. What do you think Flinney will change for Saturday? 11 players, hopefully. No. To be honest with you, I think there's got to be more competition for places in the midfield. There's got to be more competition for places in the defence, because that's where we're lacking. Because the fact that teams are overrunning us in the way Crew did on Saturday means that the midfield is lacking. The reason why they're getting cheap goals is because the defence is lacking. So we haven't got bad players. Flinney has highlighted the problem is consistency levels.
Yeah. I understand Baconson was better yesterday, wasn't he?
Yeah, and that's good to see.
He's inconsistent. On his day, he's an outstanding youngster. But certainly in the last month or two, he's been a bit hot and cold, hasn't he?
He certainly has. I mean, he's played games where you think, bloody hell, this boy's a genius. He reminds me of Paul Pogba. And then sometimes he absolutely gash, and he reminds me of Salif Diao. Hopefully we'll see better of him for the rest of the season. But then there's talk of being dragged into a relegation battle. We're still 13 points clear of relegation. I think 13, 12 points, something like that.
You can easily get sucked in, though. And the form we're on now, it is relegation form, isn't it?
Then it's got to end at some point, isn't it? And Exeter at home has got to be where we've got to end it. We got a good record against them at home. It's the kind of game we
could win, though, because we tend to do better against the bigger sides, don't we?
Yeah, well, there you go. Marcus May, I can't believe he threw another game away. Yep. We certainly snatched defeat from the jaws of victory, didn't we?
Yeah. And so you wonder whether it's been that long we haven't won a league game. You wonder whether it's a mental problem, psychological.
Maybe. Well, obviously they had the character in them to be second best, but still take the lead yesterday. So you got to question, where did the collapse come from? If they had such strength to go on and take that game, when they had absolutely no right to.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So John Luckett, need a big leader in our side. No talking yesterday at all. So John was obviously there. So if there's no talking going on, what's happening with the captain situation? I mean, Dimitriou.
Franks was captain yesterday, wasn't he?
Yeah, but then Dimitriou's the vice captain. Yeah. Crofts is the captain. So how is Franks taking the armband? It's a strange one, isn't it?
I guess maybe give it to him after the Leicester performance last week.
I think he was skipper for that as well, wasn't he? I'm sure he was skipper for that as well.
I'm sure.
Callum Winton, our league form is pretty concerning. Now playoffs have to be out of reach. I wouldn't say completely out of reach, because all it takes is a spell of really good form, a few wins on the bounce, and we're back in the mix again,
It does.
But then, there's a lot of teams around us who drop points on a regular basis. Anybody can beat each other in League Two. That's why it's so good. I mean, you got the exceptions where you got MK Dons and Lincoln who win the majority of their games, and rightly so, because the squads that they've got. But I don't think it's completely out of reach, but I think we just got to. I think no more talk of playoffs from now. I think we got to find a way of stopping the rot, getting ourselves into a better bit of form, and pushing on from there. A bit like we did last year, because obviously around the cup run we went into poor form, and when we were out of the cup we managed to recapture some of it back. So anyway, we're losing people now. Doug Diamond, good evening, lads. Good evening, Doug.
Evening.
Jason Smith, great seeing the Spuds lose today. So Jason, those who remember Jason when he was here with me for the cup draw on Monday, he obviously doesn't like Spurs because he's a Chelsea fan. George WBA is in. Hello, George. I mean, you guys won again on the weekend, didn't you? Is that right? Did West Brom win? I think West Brom won.
No idea.
Go on, George. Give us some clarification on that one, mate. John Luckett, hiya chat, better looking than me. Well, John is the one that Howard used to go to school with.
Oh, is it?
I don't know if Howard's mentioned him.
He might have done, I'm not sure.
George should have beat Norwich. They look poor. All right, okay. So did you draw with Norwich? Was it a draw or did you lose? Rich, the air defence is rubbish. Yep, tell me about it. Preaching to the choir, my friend. Don't look at lackluster yesterday. No effort at all. Looked tired.
Oh, that's Evan, my son. Hi, Dad. It's Evan. Hello, Evan and Paddy.
Oh, so Adrian's got his family watching in. It's obviously a very big moment for him. So yeah, John lackluster yesterday, no effort, and John goes to all the away games. So if John says that, then then I'll take that on board.
Was it on Radio Wales yesterday or not?
I listened to it on the iFollow.
All right.
But the only problem with listening to it on iFollow is I like to listen to it on iFollow if I don't go, and I got obviously Jeff Stelling and Chums in the background. You tend to find because of the delay, the goal comes up on there before. So it's like yesterday I had Rob Parsons texting me as well. Yeah. And I knew we went 2-1 up about a minute before Tim Thraves told me.
Yeah.
So
how much you pay a month for that?
Is it $4.49 something like that? But
you get like, interviews and
all different interviews and stuff like that. It's pretty good content, to be honest with you. It could be better. Yeah. But then hopefully if our lad Chris Ball gets to be part of the media team next season, we'll definitely see an improvement in that.
All right.
So Jason Smith, Leandro Paredes is looking at done deal for Chelsea, coming from Zenit. Chris, you got some insight on continental players. Is he any good? Now I know this isn't a really good thing to base it on, but whenever a player's good on Football Manager for a season, usually it means that they're good in real life. Now it's hard to monitor all football, like Zenit, Russian football. I mean, who's going to sit down and watch a Russian football match?
Yeah.
But then when you're playing on Football Manager and you're looking at how good these players are, you get a gauge for...
I was going to say the same. Late 90s and early 90s, I knew all the players because I was just on Champ Man all the time.
It's like we all knew Kesman was going to be good and Arian Robin was going to be good, before we even saw any of them. Yeah. But I know that Paredes is actually looking like he's going to be a good player, but you got to try and test someone, So I think
there's not, because I don't like Chelsea.
There you go, Jace. You got a rival here, mate. Rich G. People annoy me saying Flynn 8. I mean, that's absolutely atrocious, isn't it?
That's
to say
ridiculous.
Stuff like
that. That is the definition of fickle, really. Look how much he's done in a short space of time. He's got enough credit in his bank.
I'll tell you what, right? The Great Escape, there is not a single manager in the world that would actually put their hand up and say, yeah, I think I could accomplish that. Yeah. Not a single one.
Yeah.
And on the budget that he's got to use, I mean, I know people say, you can't really use budgets as excuses,
but...
you
can.
you can, because...
To an extent,
yeah. But then Accrington, won League Two last year with a small budget.
However, I think they were very, very fortunate because I think they only used 16 players that season. So they must have been exceptionally lucky on the old injury front.
Yeah, which we haven't been this season.
Freak season for them injury-wise.
I mean, we're in a position where we're getting players back now, so hopefully, fingers crossed.
And it's the midfield. It's the midfield where we need it, and we've got two quality, experienced players, which will make a difference, no doubt.
I mean, if Labardi comes back into the frame, I mean, that could make all the difference in the midfield. It made a lot of difference last year, but he didn't have enough quality around him. I mean, with players like Baconson and Dolan playing a lot better this season than last year as well, maybe it could make a difference in that midfield.
Oh, it will, but without question. When he got injured last, was it January, February? We bombed in the league. We missed his presence, we missed his goals. He's got a winning attitude. He's got a bit of nastiness about it. We missed all of those attributes.
But then there's one big fact that I want to bring to the table now. Mickey Dimitriou goals is one thing we won games on last year. He's got a double at Crawley last year for us to beat them down there. Mickey Dimitriou has not been scoring goals this season. Do you think that is a factor? It's something that we kind of relied on last year, but he hasn't really scored many.
Dan Butler has, so to be fair. So he's kind of... But a good team who's doing well, you're always going to have players chipping in from all over the pitch. Yeah. And if that happens, it's going to be a good season, and everyone's got to chip in with goals.
That's it, yeah. Right then, guys, we've only got 16 viewers at the moment, and we're looking for 15 likes. Now, as you know, these streams, they're scheduled to last half an hour, but we extend if we hit certain targets. And at the moment, I think the most we've had watching at one time is 23. If you guys who are watching now can share this around, get some more people into the chat, and push it past 30, and we reach the 15 likes that the Amber Army bot has asked for, then we'll extend for 5 minutes for each one. And
Sorry, Chris, it's nothing to do with my face, is it?
No, Kev Sharp's been on you, mate. And trust me, we actually excelled when Kev Sharp was on. So, you know. But yeah, let's get the link out, guys. Let's get some people watching. It'd be great to have more people tuning in, especially new viewers. I mean, obviously we're looking for subscribers, and we do have a very special prize coming onto the scene for if we can hit our 2,500 mark. We're on 2,100 already. If we can get past that 2,500 mark anytime soon, there is another giveaway on the horizon. So so get people involved, guys. That would be great. Right then, so we've hit the 15 likes, so we're going to give you an extra 5 minutes. So you've got 20 minutes left of, you know, us two. I'm looking for a crap double act like Ant and Deck, you know.
Because I've been reading on the boards and that recently. People have been saying, why isn't Josh Sheehan getting a bit more of action in midfield? I will say, with regards to Josh Sheehan, start of the season, he didn't really impress me that much. He looked very lightweight. My friend Gav and Howard, I go with it most weeks. He just didn't look up to him. We were saying, is he the same player after his injury? He did impress me in the Wrexham. Was it the Wrexham game?
Northampton.
Northampton. He was really good. He scored a good goal there, but...
I'm glad you brought that game up, actually.
Yeah. That's the last game he won in the league.
The last game, I think that's the last game we won in the league. Except I think Colchester might have been the last one we won in the league.
End of November, anyway, wasn't it?
But the dip in form is basically from the Northampton game onwards. And funny enough, it's Josh Sheehan has dropped out of the team. And then all of a sudden, Josh Sheehan has dropped out of the team. And then all of a sudden, we're on this dip in form. I'm not saying that they're related in any way. He
wasn't really involved that much. He wasn't getting much game time at that point, though, was he?
But
I would certainly pick him ahead of Wilmot in central midfield.
Yeah, but I think Wilmot could be the answer to the right wing back situation, maybe.
You think? Yeah, he's played there before, hasn't
he? Yeah, and the right side is where he does his best stuff from. He's right-footed. Why not?
Personally, I think his attributes are better forward, further forward up the pitch.
Yeah,
delivering the ammo for ammo.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's fit enough to run up and down, you know.
So
he can get forward as a wing back, as Butler does, as Forbes does.
Yeah.
Because I think Forbes is too out of form at the moment. I think
he's not. I don't like getting on players' backs, but Forbes hasn't impressed me at all.
Not much at all. No. Got to agree. Anyway, I think we're losing a few people now. So anything above where we finished last year is a good season, yeah. Because it's progress at the end of the day, John, isn't it?
Listen, if we finish mid-table every year and had a good cup run, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Call it a lack of ambition, but that's probably realistically where we are. Yep. In all honesty.
Doug makes a good point here. We've got 2 games in hand, plus we're going to have another game in hand after we play Middlesbrough. So technically we're going to end up getting 3 games in hand. Yeah. And if we hit a good bit of form with those games in hand, who knows what we can do.
Consistent. We want to get back in those playoffs. We've literally got to win 5-6 games on the bounce. Yeah. It's got to be a consistent run of form.
Yeah, completely.
Without to state the obvious.
How good can Mo Toure become? Well, he's doing well for Barry, but he needs to prove himself at a much higher level, I think, before we can consider him as a League Two player.
Yeah.
But then it depends. I mean, you know, he'll carry on having a good season for Barry. He's playing men's football, which is good. Yeah. I think when he comes back, if he looks good in the pre-season, if he looks more up to the standard, you know, fits in better with the players he's got around him, then I think...
Is he a striker or what?
He's a striker, yeah.
And how old is he?
Is he 19?
Right.
I think
What's
he's only 19.
His record been like with Barry then, goal scoring wise?
That's the thing. Has anyone got an official goal scoring record you can post for Mo Toure? And then we'll come back to that one.
You wonder, if we can't get another forward in by the end of the window, would he call him back, do you think? To put him on the bench?
Depends if his goal scoring record's been good enough, and you know, he's impressing enough, which he certainly is. He's winning, he's winning awards there, you know, at Barry.
Is he?
So yeah, Player of the Month and everything like that, Goal of the Month, you know, he's doing well.
If we can't get another forward in, I'd say we'd have to recall him. Yeah, if we can. Who else is out on loan out of interest?
Jay Folston's just gone out on loan to Merthyr, but we didn't really have anybody else out on
loan.
No. Anyway, do you think Flynn has a few players lined up to bring in? I bloody well hope so.
Well, we need a fresh injection. As we said earlier, another forward, and I think a right back.
So, as Doug was saying, potentially 9 points to grab, which puts us back into the playoff frame. So, like I say, hit that good bit of form with you know, get a bit of momentum, you know, with a few games.
Yeah.
Get a few wins, and who knows?
Yeah.
So George, we drew 1-1. Fair enough. That's a good result against Norwich. They're doing well at the moment, aren't they? What do you think of Leeds spying on Derby? I personally, I think it's all blown out of proportion.
What do you
All
mean
that.
spying on Derby?
It's more or less confirmed that that Bielsa sent someone down to watch Derby training so they could get an idea of what kind of plan they were going to implement for the game that they played on Friday night.
What do you mean covertly looking at their training?
Yeah.
Right. And that's not allowed, presumably. Is
No,
it?
it's not supposed to be allowed,
Yeah.
but I think, a lot's being made of it. I don't think it's worth.
Would it be
such-
mentioned if they won the game? Probably.
If Derby had beaten Leeds, then I don't think it would be mentioned. But
No.
then it gives Derby an excuse to say, oh yeah, but Leeds spied on our training and that's why they beat us, even though
Yeah.
Leeds completely outclassed them.
Yeah.
You can see the quality, the different. It wasn't a fact that Leeds trumped them completely tactically. It was just that they were just played at a different quality.
Speaking of Derby, what a player that Harry Wilson looks.
Harry Wilson, yep, on loan from Liverpool. Looking forward to seeing him playing under Klopp.
But some of the goals I've watched, he looks like he could be the next Gareth Bale, doesn't he? He looks like he's the Gareth Bale in waiting to me.
Yeah. I mean that's a really big comparison to put on someone. Fair play.
Yeah.
Doug Diamond, by the way, I'm Darren Davis, Black and Amber Merc. All right, Darren Davis, are you on Facebook, mate? Are you? We'll have to get you on Facebook. Nick Muller, Ipswich won at last. Yep, we've got an Ipswich fan here as well.
Managing Ipswich these days.
Paul Lambert and
James.
James.
He's had some jobs, Paul Lambert, hasn't he?
And well, one of his more successful ones was Norwich, funny enough.
Yeah.
And he's at Ipswich now. Bit like the Harry Redknapp Southampton and Portsmouth situation.
Yeah.
But Ipswich won at last, yep. And you've got the Ginger Pelly playing for you, our own James Collins. Well, he never played for the county, but he's from Newport, James Collins, so he'll make a big difference in your defence.
Where old's he now?
I think he's 36 now, I think.
Okay.
I mean, before he retires, I'd like to think, we'll get a season out of him.
Yeah.
And maybe come back to Newport, start doing some coaching badges and all that.
We could do with some defensive coaching at the moment, can we?
Yep. H, I've got iFollow, well worth the money. There you go. There's a recommendation from the bro.
Yeah.
John Luckett. We got money coming in, so hopefully we'll spend well. I think possibly a good loan signing. I think you'd probably be looking at Regan Poole potentially as the loan signing.
Hope so.
And then it depends what kind of midfielders are out there. I mean, who's doing well in like the conference at the moment? Because you tend to find that when you pick the cream of the conference, they're the ones that tend to bang on and do well in the end.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, we've forged a good relationship with Bristol City.
Yeah.
In recent seasons, so maybe because Mikkelski last year, everyone they seem to loan to us has been really good.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll chuck the young midfielder our way.
And to be honest, I felt Pring probably should have had a better opportunity for us. But to be honest, are you really going to beat Butler for his place?
I think Butler's the best left back in the league, to be honest.
Yeah, there's not. I don't think there's really anyone out there who's better than Butler.
No.
George WB, is getting Borough a disappointing draw for you? Well, I'm a bit more glass half full on this one because I think if you look at it, Borough is still a Premier League team. Historically. Big stadium. It's going to be a nice stadium for us to go to. Most fans are going to make a weekend in Newcastle out of it. And it's technically you could say it's winnable.
It could have been a more glamorous draw, but it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, well, we could have gone away to Barnet, away to Accrington, away to Oldham. So I'm thinking of it glass half full. So I'm particularly pleased with it.
Yeah.
H felt so sorry for Flinney after the Crew game. Well, Flynn's got to take some of the flack though, isn't he? Really, he's the one who employs the tactics. He's the one that puts these guys in their positions and gives them their instructions before the game and at half time. Neil Wilmot, evening guys. This is actually Robbie's dad.
Oh, is it?
He's a regular viewer.
Hello, Robbie's dad.
Yeah, we're both very big fans of Robbie.
We are indeed.
Obviously, he was a.
And I think Shearer and Wright and Gary Lineker were after his cross last week.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think Neil, before the... Actually, no, we were talking about Robbie on Monday night on the draw and talking about what a great contribution he made. But the thing is with Robbie Wilmot, he got the assist for Amond against Tottenham last year as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
You use him right, and he is one of our better players, and always has been. under Justin Edinburgh, he was really good for us. He retransformed as a right wing back, but I always preferred him as a forward. That goal he scored against Hereford, 3-2 away, that was one of the best away games I've ever been to. And
I was there that night. That was brilliant.
I stood next to you. I was as we were going mental. It was quality.
It was good.
Callum Whitton haven't won a game since November in the league. I know it's just one of them things, isn't it? It's bad form.
It'll change
it's bad
soon,
form.
hopefully.
But the thing that I'm worried about is that it went from being so good to so bad. Is there a reason for it, or is it just bad form?
I don't think all the manager speculation helped. It looked at one point he was strongly linked with Shrewsbury. Then it was Bristol Rovers. I don't think that helped.
No. I mean, there's people talking about Luton now, but he's 25-1. It's not going to happen, Luton.
Then you had the FA Cup distraction, inverted commas. I've heard rumours that there's a bit of a drinking culture off the pitch, which could mean problems with lack of fitness, lack of concentration. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But if it is true...
Can only hope that's not true.
Yeah.
You two remind me of Saint and Greaves. A bit before my time, I think, H. John Paul, look at this, getting established in league 3 seasons, then push on. I think, Chris, 2 big players midfield, aggressive and vocal.
Labadie's one of them.
Labadie. And then it would be Crofts then as well, wouldn't it?
I'd say so.
If we can get both of them fit, it'll be like having 2 new signings, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So it's Joel, sorry I was late, no worries.
They'll both make a big difference if and when
absolutely.
they come back.
Callum Winton, do you know when Yeovil away is? Because someone asked me earlier and I don't have a clue. I'm going to have a look. I'm going to have a look.
At that. Yeovil
so there we go. That's the good thing about having someone on. They got another phone. We're going to look for that for you, Callum. George W.A. So he thinks Barnes is better than Wilson. Barnes at West Brom.
Never seen him. Can't comment.
No.
Sorry.
There you go. Good player, mind. Wilson, I think Barnes is more established. I think Wilson is on the rise and probably could overtake, but we'll see. Yes, we're already on Facebook, Chris. Happy days, mate. Happy days. Nick Muller, when Ipswich played Norwich, that should be fun with Lambert in charge. I don't think Norwich are going to be too pleased with him, are they? Talk of Martin Wolford from Grimsby. Now, we have a Grimsby fan that tends to come in on this chat. I hope he turns up tonight because I'd like to know how good he is and if there's anything on their end about it.
Yeovil away, sorry to interrupt, is Saturday, March the 30th.
Saturday, March the 30th.
Hewish Park, Saturday, March the 30th.
There we go. There you go, Callum. March the 30th, mate. Please beat Norwich, Nick. Would help the Albion out quite a bit. And help my bet out quite a bit as well, to be honest with you.
Just as I got the fixtures up, I'm just looking for the rest of the month. Exeter home next week, then Middlesbrough. Then we got Notts County away.
No, Notts County away is meant to be on the same day as Middlesbrough, so that's going to change.
Sorry, my bad.
So there we go. Does Randall still play? Used to rate him. I think he's still at Crawley, but doesn't play often. Come on the port. What do you think of Bolton FG Irish over Christian Doge? I think it's bad that Bolton have done that. But then, to be honest with you, I haven't got a lot of sympathy for Forest Green Rovers because I don't like them very much. But
we dodged a bit of a bullet on Dean Oldsworth, didn't he? Because he's behind that Bolton consortium where he's gone tits up, and he was interested in
doing the same thing with us. Yeah,
I think we dodged a bullet on
absolutely. I think it's disgraceful, really. If I'm looking at it without a biased head on me, if it happened to us, I'd be freaking fuming. But I find the whole thing quite funny. That Forest Green Rovers have been stitched up. I think it's brilliant. I can't stand him. Barnes has been recalled by Leicester. He had 10 goals and 6 assists in half season with us. That's a fantastic record, that, isn't it? Fair play. So Callum and cheers, no problem. We caught up, mate. Fucking hell, that's all right, isn't it? So we caught up and we got just over 5 minutes left. Unless, guys, as we said, you guys can share this link and get another 10, well, now 11 viewers in. Because it's gone a bit slowly tonight, unfortunately. We haven't got as many in. I think it's because I put the link out a bit late. And there's that. But, it is... So there we go. Mo Toure has 11 goals so far this season. That's a good return so far, isn't it? For a full season of playing first-team men's football. That's a really good return.
Well, if we can't get anyone in, it sounds like a good option to me. If we're able to recall him, we might not be able to.
But Cardiff have taken their strikers back, Mark Harris and Rhys Healey, from us and MK Dons respectively. Yeah. If we can't have Harris back, what's to stop us from having a stab at give us Reece Healy.
Yeah. Where's he been? Sorry, recently.
MK Dons scoring goals for them as well. So
why is he recalled him then?
I think everyone's just gone back to Cardiff. I think Neil Warnock wants to establish a situation with him.
He's a cop, isn't he?
Not a fan of Neil Warnock, to be honest with you. No, he's a matey moaning bugger. But he approves of Brexit, so he's gone up a little bit in my estimation. Only a little bit though. George W. Is it an unpopular opinion hoping that Leeds go up with Albion? Not really, no. I think Leeds, I got a bit of a soft spot for because I feel
big established club, aren't they?
Feel bad for what happened to them. You know that they were a leading Premier League team, and then they just flopped. They absolutely collapsed, and that was nothing to do with anything on the field either. You know, it was off the field, and Ridsdale was an absolute bellend and completely destroyed them. I heard something from a Leeds fan, right, who knows the club really well. When they signed Seth Johnson from Derby back in the early noughties, him and his agent going there looking for 15 grand a week, hoping, here we go, 15 grand a week is what we're going to shoot for, but we probably won't get it. 10 will be all right, but 15 will be what we'll shoot for.
Yeah.
First offer laid on the table to him was 40 grand a week, and you're going to do that, aren't you?
They did us a good turn though, Leeds, didn't they? When we played him in the Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
Didn't they? They didn't have to split the.
They didn't have to because we were drawn at home, but the stadium wasn't ready, the pitch wasn't ready, so we had to swap the fixture around. I know Southend took all the money off us, wankers, and but then when we went to Leeds, they gave us our share.
Nice gesture
to them, and that share ended up buying Podrick Amond.
Oh right, okay.
You know, Matthew Goss, Jay Folson out on loan, lacking in defenders. But is Jay Folson good enough to start League Two football at the moment? Maybe that's why we've sent him out.
Is he a centre back?
Centre back, Jay Folston, yeah. So he's a youngster. Wayne Hatswell thinks he's going to become a great player from a conversation I had with him last year. So I think, well,
how many centre backs we got?
We haven't got many.
Demetriou,
O'Brien, Bennett
can play centre back.
Then
O'Brien's been really injured, hasn't he?
It's a shame of O'Brien. What a player he is as well. So Marcus, maybe what do you make of Nathan Jones leaving Luton for Stoke? I mean, how can any Luton fan begrudge him that?
More money, bigger club, anyone would.
Yeah, it's a bigger challenge for him. He's taking on a team that are looking to get back into the Premier League, for God's sake. I mean, Luton
jump to 2 divisions as well.
I mean, you had a Luton fan on TalkSport the other day going on about how he's been given everything he wants. The fans have backed him. I was like, well, yeah, you're supposed to. He's your bloody manager. You're supposed to back him, and that's the job of a board is to back him. And you're fighting for the possibility of getting back into the Championship because of him and the decisions he made. But when a bigger club comes calling, you can't stand in their way.
No,
you can't expect them just to stay just because you want them to. It's like he's got a career and he's got ambition.
It's a nation of success, isn't it?
Happened
with us with Edinburgh.
I mean, as much as I'd argue that jumping from League Two to League One isn't really a big jump, jumping from League One to the Championship to a team like Stoke is a huge jump. Considering Nathan Jones only just got Luton back into League One. So Luton are a first-time League One team, and he's now taking on a team that are going to want to get back in the Premier League, and he's leading that charge. So he could become a Premier League manager very soon. And a good point to make as well, a potential future Wales manager in the making.
How old is he?
He's only young, isn't he? He thinks he's in his sort of late 30s.
Yeah.
So there we go. Nick Muller, if Newport beat Borough, do a long chant video of your fans. I think you'll see plenty of them, mate, if we beat Borough, trust me.
Let's hope so.
Russ Page, I'm not a Man United fan, but De Gea, best keeper to bait. I've got to disagree on that one, Russ. De Gea is a great keeper, don't get me wrong. But I think he's fallen out of the discussion of the best goalkeepers because of Man United's bad form. Fair play, Man United won a fantastic win at Tottenham there, but I don't think De Gea can be classed in the best keepers again just because of one good performance. But you're not wrong that he's a fantastic goalkeeper, one of the best. But to say he is the best, I don't know.
Well, he's got competition with Alisson now, hasn't he?
With Alisson, with Edison, with Loris. I personally think Loris is the better of the two, personally. Yeah. But Loris is a World Cup winner. De Gea had a poor World Cup, and so far up until today has had a relatively poor season with United. And he has made mistakes, but De Gea, a shot stopper, if you want to say if he's the best shot stopper in the world, yes, completely. Best complete article goalkeeper, not quite.
What was Franks doing at the Crew game?
God knows. Absolutely God knows.
He was outstanding against Leicester. Every time I've seen him live this year, he's been really one of the standout players. Lack of concentration, rush of blood to the head. There's no doubt he's been a really, really good signing.
Absolutely. I mean, he's done a lot more good things than bad things. Like when people get on Joe Day's back, I mean, the amount of saves he's made over the years.
Best keeper we've had in years.
Yeah. I think the only keeper you can arguably say is better than him is Caldallo, but I mean, keeper that we've owned ourselves, he's the best. So, Johnny, look at any chance of a Taff on the road to Middlesbrough. They certainly will be, mate. Yep, I'll be going to Middlesbrough. George WA, proper working class team with proper passionate fans. So you're talking about Middlesbrough then, yeah?
Yeah.
Paul Dixon, hi Chris. Next week against Exeter is a must-win at home. Will the natives become restless if we lose?
No, they shouldn't do. That'd be ridiculous.
Nick Muller, who's that? George. I think he's on about Leeds. Oh yeah, Leeds is who he was on about.
Right, sorry.
Yeah. Bluebirds TV, you going to meet Middlesbrough Fan TV when you play them? If we get an invite, of course, yeah, absolutely, why not? Paul Dixon, on the talk on new contracts have gone quiet. Your thoughts, please?
Well, we've given one to Amond. Who else?
Amond, I think we triggered an extension. Well, Amond triggered his extension, so that's good. I think
Butler's out of
Butler, Demetriou, O'Brien, Dolan.
Not sure about Dolan.
Sheehan.
But the other three are really happy at the club, so there's no reason why they'd want to move on.
No, can't see any reason why. Hopefully after Leicester, we'll have the money so we can give them what they want to stay.
Yeah. And also put some money away for academy or future ground plans, something like that.
George W. Foster is the most underrated keeper in the country. So Ben Foster, who plays for West Brom, most underrated goalkeeper in the country. Would you say that?
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a valid point, a very valid point. I think if you're looking
for England, hasn't he?
He certainly has. Yeah. I think if you're looking for underrated goalkeepers, I tell you who the most underrated goalkeeper of all time is it's between two from the Premier League era, and I think it's Jussi Jääskeläinen and Brad Friedel. For me, two of the best goalkeepers ever in the Premier League era that never got the recognition they deserved.
Was he at Villa, was he?
Friedel was at Blackburn, Villa. He was at Liverpool once upon a time, and he played for Tottenham.
Yeah.
So there you go, guys, right? We're going to end it on a bit of a dilemma. I'm going to put it out there to you. Who was the best of those two? Now, I know we've done these a couple of times before, but who was the best of them two? Jääskeläinen or Brad Friedel? Who was the best of those two?
Jääskeläinen was at Bolton, wasn't he?
Jääskeläinen was pretty much Bolton all the way. It was, with him. Friedel jumped about a few clubs, but for me was great.
And Friedel played till about 40, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Yeah.
So, putting that one out to you guys
I'll go Friedel personally.
Yeah, so 8 says Friedel. I say Jääskeläinen personally, because as a Liverpool fan, as well as County, I can remember Jääskeläinen saving Bolton so many times against Liverpool. It was unreal.
JJ Okocha.
Oh, what a player. What an absolute player. But yeah, so we've nominated them two goalkeepers to be one of the most underrated goalkeepers in the Premier League era. But who was the best of those two? Friedel or Jääskeläinen? So far, is Friedel winning. Nick Muller saying Brad for me. John Paul Luckett is saying Brad Friedel. So what do the rest of you think? There's another 11 of you in this chat at the moment. A close call, but Brad just edges it. It looks as though Brad is going to win this with a bit of a landslide on this one. But we've done a few of these, Aid. We've done
you normally best finish up with this.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I think one of the last ones I did on this was asking who was the best out of which was the greatest Premier League team of all time, the Arsenal Invincibles or the Man City Centurions.
Depends who you support.
But then to throw another one in the mix before we end it, could you say the Man United treble winners would beat both of them? Would we say the Man United treble winners of '99 are better than the Invincibles and the Centurions? Friedel played in Spain as well. He also played for Galatasaray in Turkey as well. Yeah, Brad Friedel. So there we go. That's another one to end it with then. I think the Invincibles, the Arsenal Invincibles were the ones that won it when we spoke about it before. But with the Man United treble winners of '99, trump the Arsenal Invincibles. That's one to end the stream on.
Depends who you support.
Going further back, Nottingham Forest 79-80 Champions League winners.
Absolutely. There's a really good film about that. It's like a documentary of Nottingham Forest under Brian Clough. Can't remember what it's called now, but it's well worth the watch.
Yeah.
What they did was immense.
Well, Google Brian Clough Nottingham Forest documentary, then I'm sure you'll find it.
Really, really good.
Absolutely. So, hi, and guys, we'll push it out to the 45 to let you answer those dilemmas there. Johnny Owen film.
That's him, yeah.
There you go, Paul. Good. Thanks for that, mate. I'll have to
really
look for that one then.
Not just about the football, it tells you about society in the late 70s.
Yeah.
It's got a really good soundtrack. It's got all the music on there as well. So yeah, it's a really enjoyable watch.
Paul says a Welsh lad as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, happy days. Nice one, Paul. So so the Man United Travellers, do they beat the Arsenal Invincibles?
That's the one, yeah.
I believe in miracles.
Well worth the watch. He was a character, Cluffy mine, wasn't he?
Oh yeah. I tell you what, I watched a video of him yesterday punching, was it Nottingham Forest fans? Yeah, pitch invaders.
Yeah.
Pitch invaders. He was on the pitch hitting them, like, trying to beat them all up. I'm like, fucking hell.
Yeah.
You're going to get your ass kicked doing that.
The interviewers just couldn't handle him. He was so sharp and quick-witted. He just strike them down with words, wouldn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. So no, we're not really getting many comments now, guys. So don't think anybody wants to answer the question on the Travellers or the Invincibles.
I'd rather not talk about Man U, to be honest.
No, that's fair enough, mate. No, that's fair enough. But
what's that mean? A ledge be one of a kind.
Yeah.
Oh, Brian Clough, presumably. Yeah.
I mean, I'd say he is probably between one of three managers who
should have managed England.
Well, not so much should have. He should have managed England. Yeah,
and
absolutely.
And he very nearly managed Wales as well, I think.
Did he?
Yeah.
I'd have taken him for 100% for Wales.
Yeah.
But I think Ferguson will always be the greatest manager in English football history. You can't knock his record. As much as I hated his guts, can't knock his record. He's the best. But I always say that the likes of Shankly, Paisley, Clough, follow quite close behind. Don Revie, of course.
Yeah.
There's quite a few really good managers. Like I suppose you could throw, some of the Arsenal managers of old, like the George Grahams and things like that. Howard Kendall was a top manager.
Yeah.
Graham Taylor was a great manager.
Dalglish wasn't bad.
Dalglish did really well as well when he took over at Liverpool.
Blackburn.
Of course, winning the title with Blackburn was a great achievement. But I suppose you could throw Arsene Wenger in that mix, though. You think you've got to, haven't you? Arsene Wenger.
He just kind of tailed off at the end, really. He probably stayed a bit too long in the end.
Jose Mourinho too. Jose Mourinho certainly has to have a mention.
Seems to have lost it in recent years, though, doesn't he?
Absolutely, yeah. And Bob Paisley. I think Bob Paisley was the one who, I think Ferguson won the most. Bob Paisley probably won the second most. But anyway, guys, I think we're winding down now. I think a few of you are tuning out now. Joe Fagan was top as well. Absolutely. And Don Revie, Don Revie with Leeds. But I think it's time to wrap that one up now. I think we've done well, haven't we, for nearly 45 minutes.
It's gone really quick, actually.
It does, doesn't it? I'd like to wish Nathan Jones good luck at Stoke. That's good. Bobby Robson, there we go. There's a top manager.
How can you forget Bobby?
You can't forget.
And the good thing about Bobby, he was a gentleman as well. He had a bit of class about him,
absolutely.
Didn't he? I read his autobiography. He's a good read.
I can't remember who the bloody name of the manager was. A really, really good manager. Is it?
Give us a clue.
Oh, from like the 60s era. It's just, I don't know if I'm getting his name right. Is it Ron Greenwood?
Yeah, he was England manager, wasn't he?
I think he was a good manager. He was like the West Ham manager back in their glory years when the likes of Jeff Hurst and Bobby Moore were coming through.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right there. Yeah,
and obviously Alf Ramsey won the World Cup with England. So anyway, look, guys, we're going to wrap it up there. Thanks all for tuning in. Thanks for such great questions and a great involvement with the few of you that were in. Paul, thank you. I appreciate that you enjoyed it as well. For any of you that that's tuned in tonight, is much appreciated, and hopefully I can get Ado back on you another time soon.
I'll be happy to come back.
Brilliant. England manager Greenwood, yep, that's the one, John. Yep, that's what I was thinking of. Alf Ramsey was Ipswich too, so Ipswich had some good guys there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Jimmy Hill had a lot to do with Ipswich. No, I was Fulham, wasn't it, Jimmy
Fulham,
Hill?
yeah.
Yeah, of course. Terry Butcher is what I was thinking of. But,
Ipswich won the UEFA Cup, was it late 70s or early 80s? They had John Walk, didn't they?
Yeah, I know Liverpool pinched him, didn't they?
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, guys, yeah, cheers, John. Thanks for tuning in. Well, yeah, thanks as always, guys. And until the next time, it'll be same time again next week. So thanks for tuning in. Until the next time, cheerio for now.
Have a good week. Cheers.